With 8 entries of thrills and chills, spooks and kooks, and dreadfully frightening phantasms, the series has finally decided to drop the big H-bomb. It's Halloween, ghosts and ghouls. VHS Halloween is the latest in the VHS series. Coming out 2025, it would see a premiere at Fantastic Fest September 19th, then released by Shudder October 3rd. Moving on from the year angle, the film series decided to home in on specific niches. The prior film was about aliens and dog humans, while this one sees treats coming with all kinds of tricks. Some of you may be asking why I'm covering Halloween and not any of the other prior ones like 94. Sadly, life has been busy, but those will be covered in good order. I simply had to get out VHS Halloween on Halloween. Would feel weird dropping it on Thanksgiving. I have another film planned for that day. So doing something a bit different, I'll be catching us up on the franchise. While the first 4 entries all contain some sort of framing device, 99 would do away with it. Beyond and Halloween have a foil, but it's just a break in between the entries with no real connection or transitions. It's not terrible to do it that way, but I do miss the attempt. Though, in Beyond, it was hilarious to spot Corridor Digital. That caught me off guard. Well, our film starts with the foil, Diet Phantasma, brought to us by Brian Ferguson. What is Diet Phantasma, you ask? It looks like Slimer got distilled into a carbonated beverage. Luckily, the company has plenty of participants ready to sample the beverage, all in front of COO of Octagon, Blaine Rothschild, being played by David Hayden.
Formula for our new product, it's called Diet Phantasma.
The beverage is devilish, spook-tacular, and many other interesting words to choose, but it is diet.
This has all the taste of original Phantasma.
Well, alright then, let's see how it tastes.
It tastes like...
Okay, this might look bad, but plenty of drink commercials when I was growing up were basically this. More importantly, this fuck-up drags us into our first tape, Coochie Coochie Coo, directed and written by Anna Zlokovic. It's on this howling night we meet Lacey and Kaylee, played by Samantha Cochran and Natalia Fernandez, respectively. They're out on their last night trick-or-treating, being told that the mommy will get them due to their age, or literally stealing candy from a baby. Also, some chick dressed like a cheerleader has gone missing, but hey, check out that house over there.
Oh, bitch! They definitely have king-size candy bars. Come on!
But no one answers, and the door stays closed. Doesn't this asshole know you're meant to turn off your porch light if one is done handing out candy? But what's this?
Coochie Coochie Coo.
Yeah, hell no, I'm not going in there. But our pro-tags have the survival instinct of a dodo.
That is scary as shit, and I want every part of it.
They go so far as to walk inside and start wandering around before it's too late.
Wait, what?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it takes Lacey way too long to figure out how fucked they are. With the power of rewinding, they discover that the door has vanished, and they are now trapped. This is when the fear starts hitting home, and the entity holding them begins more aggressive stalking. Hey, at least it set out plenty of decorations. There's even a few other inhabitants, like a large baby man, milk chugger, and hey, look, it's a cheerleader.
Mama?
Also, I don't think I can show that, but suffice to say that the milk is homemade. Seems a pregnant suicide took place, but if you don't want to take the easy way out, Mama goes in for the bear hug. Tired, broken, and lulled into a slumber, Kaylee is dragged off with Lacey chasing, but even she soon succumbs. Well, that was creepy. Anyways, about them drinks. Oh, that doesn't look good. Moving on, we have ut supra sic infra, and for those not up on their Latin, that is as above, so below. The Spanish sick flick is directed by Paco Plaza, who wrote it alongside Alberto Marini. Seems a party at the now empty home of a famous Italian medium has seen some bloodshed. Police have bodies, short a few eyes. The only survivor is Enrique, played by Tio Planel. Seems him and some friends followed a cute nun cosplayer into some back rooms. There he did the ultimate sin of horror. He read Latin out loud. 3 fucking times. in a row. Was the first time not enough? Well, the only way to get answers here is to drag your ass back to the location, slap a phone down, and speak some Latin. Things start off bad as he vomits up the eyeballs. How did they get there in the first place? You might think that's fine finger food, but eyeballs are mostly water and fat. He's gonna be hungry later. Maybe he could use some chow and wash it down with some Diet Phantasma.
Actually tastes quite good.
It's good. Oh no, they gave her 20-year-old Crystal Pepsi instead. Also, there might be some paranormal activity afoot. Well, cleanup time. Next on the chopping block is Fun Size, written and directed by Casper Kelly. This little tale follows Haley, Austin, Lauren, and Josh, who decide that trick-or-treating is for all ages, and shall depart in search for candy. Lauren and Josh are engaged, and at least one of them is happy, as Lauren confides in Haley.
Christmas, and then Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, and then you're married. I'm going to do it.
More importantly, they've found a self-serve home, with only one instruction, one per person. Something Austin discovers with his dick pic. As in the piece he picked is shaped like a dick. And just like a dick, he tries to take another. But this house don't play.
Boyfriends, they just got captured. The address is...
Awakening, they are all in some sort of factory. Here they are greeted by their host, Fun Size, played by Michael J. Seeloff.
Fun size!
What follows is a surprisingly comedic slaughtering of the cast. Austin is carved up in the tasty snacks, and yes, that was a real dick. And yes, we see his dick get caramelized. At least this factory uses protection by securely wrapping. Haley is dragged off and turned into a Pez dispenser, Josh gets brutalized, and our final girl, she gets fun-sized.
Fun size!
All this food is really giving me a thirst to quench. Luckily, Diet Phantasma is back, and this time rolling out to a child. And he even likes to drink. I mean, yeah, they wouldn't kill a kid. Damn. And don't start thinking that kid was a one-off as we go into Kid Print by Alex Ross Perry. Our protag, Tim, played by Steven Gerwitz, is the face of Kid Print, a service where you take your kid to basically make a small tape that would be utilized in the event of a kidnapping. The service actually existed too. It was a free service provided by Blockbuster around the mid-90s. Honestly, given the time and relevance, I feel like I need to explain what Blockbuster is. It's if Netflix was GameStop, essentially. Go in, rent a film, return it, and if it's a tape, be kind. Rewind. Also, the service did apparently prove successful, though I couldn't find any exact instances of it being used to locate a kidnapped child. But here's our team. Tim, the lovable goofball leader. Alicia, the counter gal. Miles, the tech guy. And Bruce, the man in charge of the tapes. Well, murder is in the air, and it's striking the young. Very young. Something the local police are clearly concerned about. Bodies are piling, and there's a constant stream of questions with no answer in sight. Asked to retrieve a few tapes for the cops, Tim heads back and the nightmare is revealed. Being way too easily overpowered, Tim is attacked by Bruce, and we learn that Bruce is behind the murders. He has been utilizing the service to track the children down, coerce them into coming to the store, and torturing then murdering them. Something Tim has stumbled in on, though Bruce's latest victims are a bit dense.
They're in it together!
Doing his own interview, we learn Bruce was the victim of his own Halloween tape. Child killer he may be, but he does one hell of a cleanup. So good, in fact, that when Tim's body is found, the charges are put on him. However, with the implication of Bruce continuing his bloodshed, that red herring just is not going to last. Much like the patience of Rothschild, who has decided the more the merrier. Or the messier. But hey, it worked! One has not completely been torn apart or ripped to shreds or mutilated beyond reasonable means, though she is possessed. And now the others are getting up, and containment isn't going to hold. What do we do?
Package and ship the product!
It's not ready!
I said ship the fucking stuff!
So now it's Home Hunt by Micheline Pitt-Norman and R.H. Norman. We have the lovely sight of father, son, and wife preparing haunted houses for the community. Keith is the host, played by Jeff Harms, with his son Zach, played by Noah Diamond, or at least his older and more annoyed son. A son who no longer holds the spirit of spooks, unless his mother has anything to say about it.
I knew you'd come around, Zachy.
I'm not coming around. Mom's just better at blackmail than you are.
Time for prop hunting, and one peek into the back room has something rather mysterious.
Loose the riders of hell with a symphony of the damned!
I think it should be said that the actor playing the father here is clearly having fun, and he makes the short.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. This shit always looks fake.
Calm down there, creature and special effects artist Rich Baker. Alright, let's see what you've actually done a fair bit, I see. Well, inside we go. Let's get this fright festa spookin'. One man's Narnia is another man's portal to hell, and here, Rich, the creatures make an effect of you. I think what happened is that the closet was supposed to lead to the rest of the spook house, which is much bigger than it looked outside, but now, the spirits have taken over, and more importantly, they've taken over the props. And literally no one is safe. Kids get torn apart, and the hinted romance interest is fucking brutalized. Not that escape proves much safer with all the tricks coming out into the street. But hey, you can get some of that excellent Diet Phantasma for just 1 calorie. So that was VHS Halloween, or as it was called in Russia, Evil Halloween, for reasons I'm not really sure. That might have been a mistranslation. Either way, I don't have much information on the film's budget or ultimate income, so I'll skip to the final thoughts. VHS Halloween is easily the most comedic of the series, even looking past some of the strangeness of Viral that I think was meant to be ironically funny. The film just carries a tone that, while goofy and light, borders on dark comedy. Stuff like Fun Size really goes off into that territory, feeling like more of a mascot horror game that decided to have some gore and a few phallic objects. Home Haunt, I felt, had a better overall delivery with its camp tone and graphic depictions. I actually didn't hate the characters. It did help I have a soft spot for those types of Halloween props people set up during this time and sometimes leave up until Thanksgiving. Coochie Coochie Coo wasn't as comedic, coming off way more creepy and disgusting. It was fun, but isn't something that really won me over. I felt like it and Fun Size had a ton of overlap in their characters, though really it's just being asshats way too old to go trick-or-treating. As Above, So Below was a bit of a wild card in the bag. I didn't hate it, but it is rather slowly paced with an okay ending that just does what it does and then ends abruptly. I wouldn't necessarily call it a low point of the film, but I think it would have fit much better on something like VHS 2. Then there's Kid Print. Much like I was just saying, it fits oddly in here. It's easily the darkest tone of the assorted shorts. While a dark chocolate amongst sweets is nice, it can prove frustrating with how dumb it becomes, especially when the tone strikes so harshly against the rest. I actually rather enjoyed the foil story. It was snappy and delivered on the jokes really well. The tone it had felt more in line with the Home Haunt, which seems to be what the collection wanted. Kid Print was way darker, Home Haunt and Diet Phantasma nailed the tone, the rest ran a gambit from being too disconnected to way too goofy. Overall, VHS Halloween is a fun enough flick. During my time sitting through the series, I would rather suggest VHS 94 or beyond, if not for the attempt at keeping the theme of Halloween. I think you could do a lot worse, but get a group together and you might have some fun with this VHS Halloween. Just remember when picking up a copy to only take 1 per person, or it might chop your dick off and coat it in caramel.
Loose the riders of hell with a symphony of the damned!